All right. Put my phone in the strap, you dig? So I could be a good driver. 1999 driver, Uptown, Third Ward, Magnolia, CTV rider. Booted up. Suited up. He couldn't go with the guy walking, so I couldn't wait. Don't slip. Don't slip. But his Jeep is not gonna like me. So this is a poem I'll never be able to read, you know what I'm saying? But I might get somebody to read it for me. You know? I might get somebody to read it for me. I'll never be able to read it, man. And that's crazy. That's crazy. It's, yeah. For me, yeah, it's not something I can read. But in the moment, it was the only words that made sense. Whoa. It was the only words that made sense, you know? I'm about to knock them other 2 bananas down. And I'm gonna start drinking that Switchel, the honey water I have. What's interesting, when you ride with no shoes, you learn about your feet. And you learn how your feet sweat. Whoa, what's up, bro? Look at all of these cars, man. Y'all could be riding a bike, no traffic ever. That's what I'm talking about. See this kind of stuff right here? This makes cyclists get amped. This is our Super Bowl. Good morning, fellas. Have a great one. Look, how many cars did I pass up? Please don't turn out, baby. Please don't turn out. Please don't turn out. Please don't turn out. He could go all the way. No way, man. I don't know who road raging. Hey, they're saying you got to pull up because you're not on the sensor. They say you need to pull up because you're not on the sensor. It's not me, baby. It's not me. It's not me. They don't know you got a gun either. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm past the sensor.
I know. I know. They want you to run it. You could do it.
I mean, I could. And I will.
They like, what's up, baby? Dude was like, hey, yo, tell them the fucking light broke. It's like, bro, that's the police. I ain't telling them nothing. What's up, brother? What's up, dude? Save that energy, man. Save that energy. What's up, brother? I ain't gonna lie. It feels very weird to have that big automobile behind you and stop at the stop sign, like, you know, with them gaining on you. Motorbikes get hit all the time. Motorbikes get hit all the time. Oh, shucks. So I guess that's my destiny. I guess that's my destiny. We made it to the top. We made it to the top. Why am I out of breath? Like, what have I done to be out of breath? Today would be a great fishing day. I could tell, I could feel it. Fishermen say that every day. It could be a thunderstorm outside. Oh yeah, I could catch a few today. But I'm gonna fish today. I'm gonna fish today. I'm gonna fish today. I'm gonna fish today. But in the meantime, let's eat these 2 bananas. Hey, look at that. Who put that there? I'm gonna tell you something. An ugly banana is just like an ugly woman. She gonna always take care of you. Always. She gonna always be loyal. She gonna always be faithful. And she always treat you like the bum you are. Don't ever forget that. What's up, man? Have a good one, all right? Nah. It'll be very easy. Pardon me, I'm chewing. Don't slip. Especially when you come around that corner. What do you know? Twins. Irish twins. Big shout out to all my Irish twins. I'm an Irish twin, personally. South side. You see the color. Across the tracks. Other clan. My big brother was September. I was October next year. Irish twin. Oh. A banana is just like an ugly man. He gonna always take care of you. He gonna work hard for you. For y'all, you know, he gonna build something. How's it going? He gonna always be there for you. But you gotta get the ugly one, right? You don't want the one wearing just as much makeup as you. You heard me, sous chef? You don't want the one in the mirror as long as you're in the mirror. Unless that's his job. Oh man, this is rough. So rough. How's it going, boo? All right. Hold on. I know this little French chick, and she always say allons. And it wasn't the only other person I ever heard say allons, A-L-L-O-N, was Bougie Bologna Company, Bougie Man. I used to hear him say allons in all his videos. And one day I asked him, I said, what does allons mean? And he was like, let's go. I was like, okay. I got you now. Since, I'll tell you this though. Where I'm from in New Orleans, I'll tell you this though, cultural fact. Don't slip. Where I'm from in New Orleans, if you are a junior, you get junior, behind your name. But in Lafourche Parish, Terrebonne Parish, and a few other parishes, they call you, if you're a junior, they call you, like if your dad's name, and I had a homeboy, his name was Brooke. And his dad was, Big Brooke. That's how we say it in New Orleans. Big Brooke, Little Brooke. But out there they say, they'll call the dad Brooke. And they'll call the son T Brooke. Just like T Brooke. That means Lil Brooke. You know what I'm saying? So T just means Lil. Morning, how's it going? So T just refers to the Lil, T Brooke. But I think T Brooke was the first person that I met out that way who, I'm like, why they call him T? And they're like, oh, that just means Lil. I'm like, oh, in New Orleans, we just say Lil, Now, on the birth certificate, it'll say Junior and all of that. But out here, we just say Lil. But when you like the third or the fourth or the fifth, they don't really have nothing for that, except the Roman numerals behind the name. I don't know if it's like that where y'all at. And I just want to tell you this. When I watch videos, sometimes I comment as I'm watching the video. And that's why you might see multiple comments from me. Because I comment as I watch when I have something to say. Or ask or whatever, Wait up, what is this? What is this? World champions, baby. World champions. Oh, what is this? Who put that there? Who put this in my jersey? No freaking way, man. Cheers, mate. Pour you a little bit. Oh, shucks. You couldn't drink it, so I drank it for you. But I got some coffee, man. And the salt from my lip went really well with the coffee and the cream that I put in here. Really nice. Left side, left side, left side. Let's go, baby. Dirty Diana. Oh, Dirty Diana. Oh, Dirty Diana. Oh. Dirty Diana. Oh, Dirty Diana. Oh. Never liked that song. How the heck you gonna call Diana dirty, man? And make billions of sell billions of copies of that. Dirty Diana. Oh, I guess that boy got hurt. I guess Diana hurt him. Dirty Diana. Oh, but it's a fire song. All right, my dude is done. You almost there, bro. You almost there. Finish strong. Finish strong. How long? Let's go, babe. Let's go. Hey, yo. Let's go. Hey, yo. Let's go. Hey, yo. Let's go. This might be way too fast. This might be way too fast. If I wipe out, oh, it's gonna be bad. I got glass bottles in my jersey. 2 glass bottles. That's my kidneys. Cheap times. Let's go. Good sprint, man. Good sprint. I'm calling it a good sprint. Y'all ain't gonna call it that. I'm gonna call it that. Damn, I'm out of shape. Wait a minute. One more time. Oh. That's part of a fluke. Look like something from Mario Brothers. Oh, no wind. How you like that? Dirty Diana. Oh. You know what I think is so interesting? See this little trash pile of stuff? Probably didn't see it because of my bad cinematography. But whenever you have like somebody with an altered mental status in an area, they're gonna always claim the area. You know, like a tagger graffitis the area with his tag, with his set, whether he's just doing it to let you know that's his property or he's being disrespectful to another group's turf, as it were. When a person has an altered mental status, they'll often claim sections of the area by putting garbage, well, what you would think is garbage, but they ain't got nothing else to do. So they'll go and trash collect people's trash and they'll just put it out in different sections to let you know this is their turf, you know. So always be leery when you just see random piles of household stuff or trash. And I learned that from watching, all right, brother, good morning. Watching stuff about the Appalachia Trail. I said Appalachia, like I was from the Appalachia. But in New Orleans, we say Appalachian. But I don't know the real way to say it. It's like Louisville or Louisville. I don't know the real way to say it. I ain't never been there. I've been close to the Appalachia, but I ain't never been there. But next time I go to Jersey, I'm gonna go and walk on it because they got a little section that's close to where I was at. But I always had the goal of doing the whole trail, you know, before I die. And I might do that one day and bring y'all along for all 2,260 miles of it. If I could do 20 miles a day, I'll be done at some point. But you know how that go. Morning. Have a good one. want to get a few more cycling caps. I mean, when I was a little kid, man, in the 80s, bro, like we had a neighbor that had that. This was popping, man. Wesley Snipes, Do the Right Thing. I was at Woody Harrelson. White Men Can't Jump. But man, they were popping, bro. Like this was the 80s, you know? And I want to get a few more because I finally accepted it. I think yesterday I finally accepted it, that this is who I am. What's up, fellas? Train hard, all right? Get it in. Finish strong. All right. I think that's one of the most productive things a kid can do is learn, not a sport, I'm not saying that, but they can learn how to train themselves through discipline. You know, you can train them through discipline. I think that's something I've always rebelled against, was discipline, personally. Man, I had so much of discipline coming up, it just made me resent it. What's up, dude? And when I was 18 years old, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. And it wasn't because I didn't want to hear it. It was because I didn't want to hear it, because I heard so much of discipline my whole life. I just got tired of hearing people trying to tell me what to do. You know, so I just block out everything, man. I didn't want to hear nothing. I wasn't disrespectful, you know. I was done with rules, man. I always been a free spirit. And the worst thing you could do is try to put me in a box. You know, like, don't box me, man. Don't do that. That's not cool, you know. But people want to put you in a box your whole life. That's what happened with Jaleel White. Urkel, Steve Urkel, you know. They put him in this little box. They they ruined his life. They made his life and then ruined it, you know. You'll always be Steve Urkel, even though you're a 50-year-old man today, you know. Like, come on. 75-year-old man today. You're going to always be Fonzie, you know. 100-year-old man today. You're going to always be Blondie. You know what I'm talking about? If you know the movie, leave it in the caption. What's up, boo? How many miles? Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, when you see people like that, they trying. Tell them something encouraging, if they let you. She ain't want to hear it. Don't blame her. Oh, shucks. Morning. I didn't even see that lady. I was distracted looking at the dude down there on the e-bike getting it in. Hey, man. This is some water with molasses. I don't even taste the molasses. Must be at the bottom. See, this is how I get big biceps. It's a lie. Mouthful of molasses. I'm not gonna flip it. How you like that, baby? Only the best for the best. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? What's going on, boo? All right. She on the cruiser. Getting it in. Whew, let's go. I don't want to go too hard out here because all I had was 3 bananas, and I know that I wanted to bring that sticky rice. I don't want to run into any blood sugar issues by burning those carbs up too fast. I really didn't want to say this on camera, but I'm really confused. I noticed on my shorts, like I've been really low on shorts, like double digits low. And I don't know if anybody has ever went through that on their page. I know my content ain't really content. I do agree with that. But I don't really know what's the reasoning for that. You know. But I have noticed that on my long content, I've been getting a few more views than normal. You know. So I don't know if I don't understand the metrics on that, and I'm not trying to lose sleep. In fact, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I just didn't know if anybody had a quick explanation of it. However, my TikTok has been doing really well. My Instagram has been doing well, you know. And that's been pretty cool. I think that eventually and I don't want to do this. I don't have time to do this. But I think at some point in the future, I'm gonna rebrand my Instagram and just do cycling on it. I'll do my pause and play NOLA stuff. I am 1/3 of it. But I think there's a lot of cycling content. All right, don't let him beat you, all right? I think there's a lot of cycling content on Instagram, and it's a popular niche for cyclists, you know. And I'm not saying that the other ones aren't, but I know for a fact Instagram and TikTok has a really strong cycling database. But right now what I'm doing, I'm gonna eventually make just a straight cycling page. I'm not gonna talk on it, you know. I'm gonna just post cycling stuff. And the reason I'm not gonna talk on it is because, hey, what's up, baby? I don't want that to, I'm just not trying to do that. I ain't trying to do that. I think that there are pages that are very successful that don't talk. Sometimes in a cooking genre, some of the most successful cooking pages, the people don't teach you how to cook. They just show you their food. They just show you their food, you know? But I really want to get a unicycle. Like, I really want to get a unicycle. And I think when I get the unicycle, that's when I'm going to do the separate account. What's up, brother? Have a good one. That's when I'm going to do the separate account. And I'm going to still have to do my daily 20. You know, and I got to figure all that out. You know, I'm going to still do my daily 20. But a portion of the content is just going to be me cycling on the new account. As if one page isn't enough to manage, you know? And I'm just trying to figure some stuff out. I think when you start a channel, you got to make the decision, are you going to stick with it? You know, I think oftentimes too many people try to rebrand as if that, what's up, brother? Too many people try to rebrand as if that's really the solution. There are so many pages or channels or creators that start a channel and it hits. It hits. And what we have to accept is we may just never be that content creator where it hits. Some people start and they get 20,000 followers in a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that happens. But one thing I do want to say is there are pages with 900,000 followers and they get hundreds of thousands of views. They don't have no comments or very few. They have very few likes in comparison to, in scale to the amount of followers they have. So that's why you can't always believe the follower stuff, you know. Now, the only thing about having followers is you get opportunities to do business and become a pimp with products. You know, people send you stuff, they want to know your opinion, etc. And I have this little concept. I have this little concept that I'm really thinking about. So when I'm able to start working again, I'm thinking about a few things. What's up, brother? Thinking about a few things. Yesterday I talked to you about possibly becoming a bike messenger, you know. But I also had this little thing where I kind of want to, and I don't know how this is going to work long term. But I do have a goal of maybe getting one of these bike lane sweepers and just doing a community service where people donate to fund me. As I ride my bike, I just sweep wherever I'm riding. And I hope to just do like a donation type thing where people just donate so I could keep going, you know? So I could keep rolling. And that's what I'm hoping. Now, in my city, you know, they're supposed to maintain the bike lanes, but they don't. Y'all saw me ride under the bridge on that little walkway. That thing stays with mud and glass and debris and rocks and all that stuff, you know? But I wouldn't mind just putting the bike lane sweeper behind my bike and just, you know, sweeping as I go. Up here, a lot of times there's glass, there's debris, there's sharp rocks, there's hazards, you know. Hay, for example, after they cut the grass, they discharge all that hay up here. And I think if I had the little sweeper, it would be good for that. But in order to pay for the sweeper, I would need to start a GoFundMe. And I would sweep, but it would have to be where I could afford to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about doing that. You know, bike lane sweeper. You know, and people would say, well, the parish, the county, the city. Yeah, but are they doing it? You know? You ride down Belle Chase Highway, Woodland Highway, you know, the English Turn Bridge, that has been really nice, you know, but sometimes you're riding and they got a lot of junk. And I know a lot of guys that cycle that bridge, you know, and good thing they got high pressure tires. But if you get a flat while you're riding and you're going down that bridge, that's going to be bad, you know. My mentor had a big old chunk of metal he picked up, some kind of bolt he picked up, you know. And I think with the bike lane sweeper, you know, so I told him, I said, look, man, send me one and I'll ride around New Orleans and, you know, start sweeping. And it was like, you got to do a crowdfund to buy it. And I'm like, what's a crowdfund? They're like, that's like GoFundMe, something like that, where people donate, you get the bike lane sweeper, you rig it up, and you could do it. So I was like, we'll see, man. We'll see. But like the Boudin man, he in New Orleans and people donate money to him all the time. And he gives away Boudin to drunk people or to the disenfranchised, you know. And, you know, it's cool to see. It's cool to see. You just got to be creative, you know. I don't know how hard it would be to pedal with the bike lane sweeper though, you know, because it's like it is a machine on wheels. There is going to be more friction because the brush has to come in contact with debris and the ground. So I don't know like what max speed would be realistically, you know, and that's why I wanted them to send me one because, you know, in my arrogance, you know, it's like in my arrogance, I was thinking if you send it to me, I could try it out. Because if it's something I can't do, then it's like there were no strings attached, you know. Anyway, my mom's told me she needed to talk to me. And, you know, when your pops die, it just changes everything, you know, changes everything. Especially when he leaves a widow behind and, or he makes a widow, you know. And you don't have your stuff together to be able to just take care of your moms like he was. If I'd have knew when my dad was gonna die, I would have did a lot of things different. But I didn't know. So I lived life with confidence, with overconfidence, and with recklessness, and with detriment, and with all these other bad things, you know? Maybe I wouldn't have been a firefighter for 13 years, you know? Maybe I would have did something to make a little bit of money, you know? Pro ball player, actor. I don't know about comedians. I mean, my jokes funny sometimes, but maybe I would have did something different, you know? Went work on the river, you know? Maybe I wouldn't have been a bum. Maybe I wouldn't be a bum now. There's a picture that I took and I had somebody take, and my pops was in it, you know, and the first time I saw the picture, I saw pops in it, you know. And what's crazy is like, what's up, brother? He got 4 legs, bro. You got 2. I got a little water if you want it. I got a little water if you want it. Okay. Yeah, that dog is too big to be out here in this heat without shade and water. You know, I learned that walking my baby brother, Cane Corso. When he gets tired, he is gonna sit down in whoever lawn he's in front of, and he ain't moving. And you could jiggle the chain, you could tell him let's go, you could bust him upside the head, you could put the newspaper roll on his butt, but make sure it's wrapped with duct tape. You know, you could whack him like you Pharaoh of Egypt. He ain't going nowhere. And the way that dog was panting, yeah, he ain't moving. He's tired. He's winded. He's overheated. And the only thing gonna help him is him just sitting there calm, panting and spooling. I think it's called spooling. I would have gave him some water though. Definitely. I wouldn't have gave it to him. I would have let the owner give it to him. Yeah, I don't do pit bulls, and I don't have my bazooka with me. So I love all dogs. Paws pack, baby. But I do recognize that in my ability, I am not Caesar Milan. I am not Dog Whisperer. I don't know their behavior. I don't know anything about them from that standpoint as an expert. Oh man, look at that big old catfish just moved around right there, boy. God dog. Man, that was a monster. Hey biker, we need to go, bro. We need to go today, bro. We need to go today, bro. I gotta catch a bull red, one right before he's a bull. Like 26 3/4. Because I saw this video where this guy took the vertebrae of a fish and made a really nice bracelet. And I really think I could make my own custom necklace to honor my dad, my grandfather. What's up, brother? All right. To honor my dad and my grandfather. And I really like the idea of bone. I was just gonna do like a leather necklace and just put a few pendants on it. But after seeing that really cool idea with the backbone of the fish, I think I could do it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I could even do it with deer bone or hog bone or something like that. You know, coon bone. But I'm gonna make my own little tribal necklace. But I really need to get a bull red. I want to try to use, because the redfish is something that my grandfather caught. It's something my dad caught. It's something that my brothers then caught, my uncles. Like, it's a fish that we've all caught, and I know that for a fact. And it's also a bigger fish, so I think the bone would be better than a trout bone or a flounder bone or something like that. But I'm definitely gonna, try to catch a bull red so that I could do it. But the guy in the video made a bracelet. That was beautiful, man. He used some blue beads. I don't know if it was like a wooden bead or if it was a plastic bead. I don't know. But, so you had bone that was white because he bleached it basically. And then you had the blue bead. It was beautiful. Very beautiful. But it gave me the idea I could do something similar. Because I was just gonna get some hide, some leather cordage, and make a braid, a 3-strand braid necklace. And I kind of wanted to do it with a deer that I killed myself or somebody that knew my dad killed. Like, so I got one of my homeboys, he hunts, and him and my dad were good friends, you know? And if he killed a deer and I didn't, I would use the hide that he harvested for the necklace. So that's what I was kind of waiting for for my pops, you know, like kind of waiting for that. Still sad, man. Out in all its beauty, and still sad. Got the gift of life, family, loved ones, friends, a meaningful life, purpose. Still sad. It's just not the same without him. Not that it has to be the same. I heard somebody say that my whole life. It ain't the same without you. So now what am I doing? Regurgitating that same that same colloquial expression, you know, like who made this up? You know, like who influenced us all to say certain things, you know? How does colloquialism work? Like who understands that? Let me know. You know, like how does colloquialism work? How is it that we all repeat that? New tires coming in Saturday. I'm gonna do a ride after I get the tires. I'm gonna hit up Chalmette, Bywater, the 9, you know. Yeah. I need to drink some water though, now that I think about it. Hey, look at that. Never gets old, man. Never gets old. One thing I'll tell you this, whenever you're doing anything where you're expending physical energy, you have to breathe, even when you're drinking water. Breathe through your nose, man. Because just that little bit trying to drink, you need oxygen. You need air. You need to breathe. Now we're gonna chase it down with some hot coffee. Look at you, boy. Look at you. Look at you. You remember all that stuff I was telling you about breathing? I forgot to. I've been daydreaming. It's amazing how that works. Man, I found the most beautiful little young live oak tree yesterday. Had a little hug session with it. Went great. It really went great. I was supposed to check my Strava to see if it was working because yesterday I rode 25 miles and it never was recording. It only recorded 1/10 of a mile. So I was supposed to stop the bike when I made it to the top and check it out, but I didn't. And I'm not. I'm gonna just wait till I get home. You know what's crazy, man? And I think for some people, you know, I knew a lady. She survived the Great Depression, and she said the Great Depression was so bad. She said she promised herself she would never starve again. She said that's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. And after she survived that, and she became an adult. What's up, brother? After she survived that and became an adult, it affected the way she lived her life after that, you know. But I only really remember two things she told or she said, and I was privileged to hear it, and that was one of them. Now, she said a lot of stuff, but I remember that pointedly about the Great Depression. And another thing she said was, the day Dr. King was assassinated, she said she cried. She cried. And she was an adult-aged woman at that time. She had a family, she had kids, she had a husband, had never met Dr. King. She said, but she cried because he was a good man and he was really trying to stand up for people. And he was, as they say, assassinated, murdered, killed, quieted, etc. You know, and that really disturbed her. You know, really disturbed her. And I'll never forget that. You know, and when I hear people today say disparaging things about Dr. King, Martin Luther King, it disturbs me because what have you done in your life equivalent or greater than what Dr. King did? That's what I want to know. What have you done in your life equivalent or greater than what Dr. King did with his life? That's all I want to know. But I think it's very unfortunate that today we're so opinionated and vocal with our opinion that we can discredit someone who has done amazing things for people. You know, I think of Mother Teresa all the time, you know. I was a young teenager. I was a freshman in '97. But I was a young teenager when Mother Teresa was talked about often on the news. I've never read a book about her. I can't tell you 5 things about her. I think she's from India. Don't quote me. You know. But from what I've heard, she was an amazing humanitarian. From what I heard. I don't know anything firsthand other than that. So before you discredit her, like, what have you done with your life equivalent, comparable, greater than what she did with hers? That's all I want to know. another cardinal. How you like that? City boy. You know, a lot of people, you know, I'm not going to talk about this third person, but a lot of people talk bad about him. But it's like to have a concept in your mind, a thought. Pardon me. What's up, brother? You good? Okay. To have a concept, a thought in your mind, to get it out of your mind onto a piece of paper or a electronic device, to make a soft prototype of it on that electronic device or on that piece of paper. And then, how's it going? Have a good one, boo. And then after you do that, to build a prototype, to get funding to build them, and then to sell them. And people hate you because of, it's like, what have you done in your life comparable, equivalent, or greater than what this person has done, you know? Enjoy it, brother. Thank you. Like, what have you done in your life greater, comparable, or equivalent to what the person did for you to discredit them because of what? Your opinion is not that important. Your opinion is not that important. You know? How many people come up with a great idea? They create it and they're never able to get funding for it. Or they're never able to bring it to the masses. I know a guy who invented a boat seat that does everything. It's for your boat. And look, the minute he stopped paying the patent to protect it, somebody's gonna make $1 billion on it. It just won't be him. You know, so every year, or however that works, he pays the patent office, or however that works, so that nobody takes his idea. He just don't have the funding. I know people who know him and they're like, bro, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. Yeah. I was just thinking about this inventor that I know. I met this guy and he invented something that was so cool. It was just 10 years too late. 10 years too late. You know, 10 years, like the culture had already shifted, but he was 10 years too late. If he would have invented it 20 years earlier, he'd be a billionaire, you know? What was the invention? It don't matter now, you know? But he made a device that gave you eyes in the back of your head, you know? And it just was 10 years too late. Everybody had cameras by that point, you know? So, wrong time. So you see, there are some people with high visibility vests on the road, and I'm gonna attempt to catch them by hopefully out-pedaling them. But I'm not gonna sprint, because I'll become anaerobic instead of aerobic. But I'm gonna speed up just a little bit, and hopefully pass them, overtake them within 5 minutes time. But to make it fun, I'm not gonna touch my handlebars until striking distance. But I see them already. And oh. Da'ida'an, oh. Da'ida'an, oh. All right, let's see. Stick with it, my baby. Oh, they're not going fast at all. But they getting it. Must be an elderly couple. That's amazing. I love that. He letting her go first. Chivalry still exists. Chivalry still exists. Is this my boy? All right, dude. Hey, don't let her win, all right? Don't let her win. Have fun. Sometimes that was supposed to be my mom and dad, you know? But I'm happy they got it. I'm happy they've grown old together, you know? That's beautiful to see. You know, sometimes when you're dealing with grief, from what I hear, you can resent people still having their, but I don't. I'm happy for them, man. I'm hurting so much. I am hurting so much. I am hurting so much. It gives me joy to see a father with his son, to see a son with his father. That gives me joy and hope, you know? I hope that father loves his son as much as my dad loved us. I hope that son loves his father just as much as I love my dad, as we loved our father, you know? I love seeing it. I love to see a grandfather with his grandson, you know? I love that. I'm not jealous of them. I'm happy for them. Because they have something that I love, that I had, that I don't have no more, you know? But I do understand how people can be so hurt that they feel jealous or envious, you know, of somebody still having their loved one. I remember one day I had a friend and we got close, you know. And one day, you know, he met my moms, he met my dad, he met my siblings, and we were talking, like we were working together and we were talking, you know. And one day he called me Silver Spoon. And if you could have saw the way I looked at him, it was almost fighting words. That's how I felt betrayed by him saying that. In the moment. In the moment. And look, out of all of the good times we had, he and I, that is one thing I'll never forget. He called me Silver Spoon. But he said Silver Spoon from the standpoint of he wasn't Silver Spoon. Like, he was talking from the standpoint of it was almost derogatory. It was almost derogatory. Because he put me in this bubble because he never was Silver Spoon. His dad wasn't there. His mom wasn't there. He was raised by the whole city. But he had his grandparents and they were there for him. They were there for him. But because his mom and dad wasn't there for him, he labeled me a Silver Spoon. And it really offended me because he wasn't talking from a helpful context. You know, he wasn't talking from the context I just said about when I see fathers and sons and grandfathers, and I'm happy for them. I'm not envious of them. I'm not jealous of them. I'm happy for them that they still have what I don't have. I'm happy for them that they still have what I love that is no longer here. You know, so he didn't say Silver Spoon from that standpoint. But I never asked for my dad to be a part of my life, my dad chose that. My dad chose that. My dad chose that. He chose to be a part of our life. He chose every day to consciously, soberly be a part of our life. He chose that. My dad didn't do drugs. He didn't abuse alcohol. He wanted to be a part of our life. I never saw my dad drunk. He saw me drunk a few times, but I never saw my dad drunk. You know, we drank together a few times. One Thanksgiving, I remember that was the first time I drank Crown Royal with my dad, you know. My dad had alcohol in the house, but I never seen him drinking it. But when he got with his brothers and we'd be at my papa and mama house, he'd drink a few beers with his brothers. And they'd talk trash and shoot the gun and do whatever they did as men. And I miss them boys, man. I miss that, you know. One of the few goals I had in life was to become a man so I could go in the back and we could shoot the levee, you know. But my uncle died before I could join him on the 4th of July in the backyard shooting a gun, you know. But that's what all of the men did. I just didn't have enough time. I didn't have enough time because my uncle didn't, you know. But that was a goal in my life, man. I was counting down the 4th of July's and the New Year's where I could go in the backyard with the men. Tired of this daggone toy room, you know? But that's what happens when you have men in your life. You don't realize it, but you set goals. You don't realize it, but you're learning how to be a man. You don't realize how much they shape you in the way you think and the stuff you do. Because before you had conscious thought, you had influences, you know? And by the time you had conscious thought, these influences were already changing you and crafting you and making you the man you was gonna be. Have a good run, bro. Way to do it, man. Dude is an amazing athlete, you know? But that's where I'm at, you know? It's like, so when he called me Silver Spoon, it really offended me because I know he wasn't talking from a good standpoint, you know, a healthy standpoint. How you doing? Have a good one. He was talking from a place of jealousy or envy, which is not cool. However, with that being said, like, his grandfather was there for him just like my dad was there for me. You know, his grandfather taught him how to work, taught him how to hustle. Hustling ain't always a nefarious endeavor. Hustling just means you're an entrepreneur. You have work ethic. You're constantly on the pursuit or the grind to procure stuff you need for survival in life. That's what hustling is. It's not just something nefarious. So when I talk about hustling, I'm not talking about anything illegal, you know, but his grandfather and grandmother was there, you know. They got people that don't have parents there or grandparents there. They wards of the state, you know, they're wards of the state. And when you have somebody that's there, you can empathize why they become the way they are at times with different challenges, you know. It's like they have currently historically black colleges and universities, right? But why did you even need a black college? Why did you ever need a black university? Because you couldn't go to school with your peers because of pigmentation. So to get a college education at that time, you had to do what you had to do. In the city of New Orleans, This city was segregated for years. You know, Leah Chase tells the story of walking down Canal and smelling food that smelled good and telling her mama, let's eat that. But her mama tried to protect her from prejudice and racism and segregation by saying, oh no, baby, they don't cook good there. They smell good, but we gonna eat at the house. Because you couldn't just walk in that restaurant and eat. You were colored, you were Negro. You had to go to the back door, the back window, takeout, you know? Like, Dookie Chase, man, a lot of the great, influential black folks, people of color, African Americans, Negroes, colored folks, that was one of the only spots they could go, you know, when they came to New Orleans. So a lot of legacy was there, a lot of history was there, you know. So at the end of the day, when people don't have what you had or currently have, give them a break. That's all I'm trying to say. Give them a break. Because they didn't grow up with the same advantage you have had, whether you realize it was an advantage or not. You know? My dad raised me to be a free thinker, and he never put pressure on me to become something. He just told me and my brothers one thing: I do not want y'all to become the police. And what my big brother do? He become the police. You know what I'm saying? What I did, I became a firefighter, you know, public servant. So that wasn't my dad's fault. It was my choice. I needed a job where I got a steady paycheck and I didn't get rained out during hurricane season or during our rainy season, you know. It's probably gonna fall off again. You know, but give them a break, man, because they didn't grow up with the same advantage. And the reason I'm calling it advantage is because some things are normal. Like, for example, if your dad and mom were farmers, it's going to be normal for you to have food. You might not have money, you might not have shoes, but you're going to have food. So you've never been hungry as a result of the advantage that you grew up with. You know, you had an advantage. If you had a mom and a dad that loved you, you had an advantage compared to people who didn't have a mom and dad that loved them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You didn't ask for it, you know. But when a man and a woman get together illegally and they make a baby, the dude runs off, the woman, throws the baby in a trash dump. How did the kid have an advantage? He didn't. Now, some of y'all may say, well, oh, he had an advantage because at the foster care, he had food, he had clothes, he had shelter, you know? And he did. He didn't get aborted, so he had an advantage. But he didn't have an advantage over the kid whose parents loved each other, were legally bringing him into this world, and loved him all of his life. Left side, brother. Don't let him walk you too hard, eh? My girl, man. How you doing? Have a good one, all right? All right, brother. Way to get it in, bro. So some people do have an advantage. It's not their fault. It's not. But if you are one of those folks, left side, y'all have a good one, all right? Don't let her win, all right? Do not let her win. Never. Y'all have a good one. Now look, I tell that to couples all the time. But sometimes I say, don't let him win. But some guys get mad at me. You know, it's like, so you never know what to say to which one, you know? She didn't smile this time. But when you have an advantage, that's not your fault. And you don't have to be sorry you have an advantage. But just have empathy. You can't really see it, but there's a red thing in the river. That thing was in Gretna when I left Gretna. Now it made it all the way to the point. That is amazing. Amazing. Have a good one, boo. Shots. Zippers and chest hair don't mix. Delta. That boy hooked up too. But let your advantage move you to have empathy for people that didn't grow up with the same advantage. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes you just got to overlook their wish for what you had. You know? Yeah, you just got to overlook that. Because that's a normal thing. They have people that come to this country legally and illegally because they appreciate. How y'all doing? Hi. All right, good, thanks. Great. Thank you, baby. See, I appreciate that because I spoke to her. She did the human thing. Hi, how you doing? And then she said something that set her apart. She humanized me. You know, she did the normal colloquial thing, you know, but then she humanized me. I don't know if y'all caught that. She said, stay cool. Stay cool. Those words meant more than her humanizing me by telling me hi after I told her hi. She said, stay cool. She recognized what the news said about the heat advisories. She recognized what her temperature is, but she told me to stay cool. How's it going? All right, babe. Her telling me stay cool made my day because she humanized me. And that's why humanizing humans is so important. Now I know she's a real human that wasn't just speaking to me quid pro quo style, but she actually cared enough to say, stay cool or be cool or something like that. I forget now. I got the memory of a goldfish, but I'll never forget her. Baby, if you're ever watching this video, thank you. And I'll tell you this, Dive Ben An, have safe travels. Mai mai, forever. I don't know. Do you know anybody that's Haitian Creole or that speaks Haitian Creole? Do you know any Haitians? All right, so if you know, I don't know a lot of Haitian Creole, I don't. But I'll teach you a little bit. So when you see somebody that's Haitian, just tell them, bonjour, bonjour, Como où como où bonjour, como où You're telling them hi, how are you? That boy hit it in. Ain't that Delta plane? So bonjour, como où So you're telling them hi, how are you? And they might tell you, good, they're doing good, you know? Let me think of how they'll say that. What's up, brother? Good pace, bro. Good pace, bro. Way to get it in. My man getting it, dude. As soon as I get some good shoes, I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't think I'm gonna be able to run because every time I've ever tried to run since becoming disabled, my ankle has not cooperated and it makes it hard to, but it's just something about losing my pops, man. I just want to feel pain. You know, I just want to feel pain. I feel like that's all I deserve is just pain. You know, it's hard to explain. I feel like, you know, it's weird. I guess because I'm hurt. That's all I want to feel. But I do want to try to, you know, run a little bit and just see how it goes, you know. Good pace, bro. Right. Finish strong, all right? Finish strong, bro. They got somebody behind you. Don't let him catch you. Don't let him catch you, all right? All right. Finish strong, though. I love that, man. I wish he'd be running with us, brother. But I love that. Sometime in life, you got to run your race. You got to run your race. I'm going to finish before you, but I am going to cheer you on. I am going to cheer you on. I owe that to you. I'm going to finish my race faster than you, but I will cheer you on. I will cheer you on. I'm going to be there when you cross. I'm going to be there for you. What's up, brothers? Have a good one. I love that, man. That was me and my dad. That was City Boy and my dad, our dad. That was Biker and our dad. That was Fat and our dad, you know? So many times. I think I got to get a punching bag, man. I think I got to get a punching bag. I threw a coffee can one time, but I've had the urge to want to break stuff a lot, and I just couldn't do it. But I think if I get a punching bag, I could just let some of this out, you know? I don't know if that's healthy or not. But when I'm feeling like this, I could just hit the bag till I cry. Maybe I should just start taking some lessons, you know? I can't box because my AC separation ain't gonna let me. I can't do jiu-jitsu because I can't grapple with a already defective body part. I can't kickbox because I got a fat gut. just stick with the bike. I have more empathy for people after losing my dad. I saw this guy he was on a podcast and he was talking, you know, and I mean, he was spitting, as the young people say. He was spitting. He lost his moms, you know, and he was just spitting. You know, he can't love nobody more than moms, you know. He lost her, he done lost everything. And as people go after her, the loss is not the same, you know. It's not the same. That's the little park I was at yesterday, right over here. When I heard that little young oak, beautiful little park. I'm gonna pass it again in a few minutes, but on the street. I'm gonna do 25 today. I've been riding 20 just because, like, I don't know. My heart hadn't been in it fully. You know, and what happened, I rode the other day to go get some gumbo at Real Pie Man, and when I got home I saw like 25 miles on my Strava, you know, and that made me feel good because I have not been doing big mileage. Like, I haven't been doing big mileage at all, and you know, I'm just at a point in my life where I can do it, but I got a few things going on that's stopping me from doing big mileage. But it is something I can do. It would be easier if I had a few things in place that I'm not going to tell y'all about, respectfully. But once that stuff line up, I'll be able to go and do bigger mileage. But right now, I just got to stick with the baby miles, you know. But it felt good saying 25 miles. But as soon as things line up, I'm going to start laying down some serious miles. Rest of my coffee. That was really nice. Very refreshing. I don't really like to ride with glass bottles on my back, because if I ever fall, man, that's my kidneys, you know. Pancreas, liver. The monk parrots, the New Orleans parrots, the Quaker parrots. Hey, that's that banana I threw down there. Don't slip. Don't slip. Oh. The Mud Boys Fishing Camp. So that red thing I was trying to show y'all, that buoy, it was over here when I was up here in Gretna. Now on the way back, when I was at Algiers Point, you know. Eventually I'd like to start riding again at 4:30 in the morning. But this past winter, I decided not to freeze at 4:30 in the morning. And I had some bad habits at night that kept me up later at night. So I wasn't getting enough sleep. Even though I don't need it, I wasn't getting enough sleep to you know, it's like in order to do athletic stuff, you really need sleep to maintain it as well. Anybody could do something hard once, but you can't live hard and get longevity out of it. So if you're not going to sleep at night, you're always going to have health problems. A lot of people get in trouble because they up at night. If your butt was sleeping, you would not have had half of the problems you had. You got to go to sleep. You ain't missing nothing but trouble. Go your butt to sleep at night, you know? And that's not something that I do. I'm up all night, all the time. I go riding my bike at times. Ladies? I don't even know why I'm coming this way. What's up, brother? So just to give you a little heads up, I'm still trying to learn my pedal orientation, because what I'm trying to do is when I stop for the stop sign, I'm trying to have the pedal, my right pedal at 9 o'clock position. And it's kind of unnatural for me at this moment. It's very unnatural for me at this moment, but I'm trying to keep my pedals in the right orientation when I come to a stop, because I want to be able to push down and just go forward. So I want the pedal at 9 o'clock on my strong foot. And it's just going to take about 1,000,000 times of me doing this to get the right orientation naturally. So what I have to do is force my left foot to go straight down at 6 o'clock until I actually stop. And what I've been doing just to help drivers is when I stop, my foot is at the 6 o'clock, left foot at the 6 o'clock position. And what that does is I'm having it right there at 6 o'clock so that I can basically body languagely signal that I'm about to stop when I take my foot off that pedal that's already at 6 o'clock position. And one day I'll do a video to show you how awkward this is. But right now I'm at 6 o'clock position with my left foot coming to the stop sign, foot down. Now I'm going. And that driver was real cool. I appreciate you, bro. He didn't give me no flack. You know how it is when you're riding behind a slow car? Or just imagine a slow bicycle. It's horrible. What's up, brother? All right now? What's up, fellas? I like talking to the common man. I've been that guy so many times in my life. Still am that guy, you know? I'm right there, babe. Right there, babe. All right, all right. Appreciate you. All right, what's up? What's up, neighbor? All right, brother. My neighbor, man. See, like the sidewalk? I've rode my bike on that sidewalk before. I have. Beat all my daggone organs up. But this is a beautiful street that they redid. Man, what's up, man? Look how wide this lane is, dude. You saw that dude? They must have wanted an autograph or something. They could have took a picture. I'll let them ride the bike. As long as they don't hit me. Golly. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the beast. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. Blessed are the peacemakers, since they will inherit the kingdom of God. Oh, my dude. That was not a smart sprint to do. One day I'm gonna get burned because of the, like when I put my leg down to stop, one day I'm gonna catch a cramp. One day I'm gonna catch a cramp, boy, I'm telling you. Catch a cramp. I'm gonna see if they're gonna give me something free at the Real Pie Man. See if they got anything free today. Don't hurt the axe. What's up, brother?
All right.
Stay free, bro. Stay free. Let's see. It don't hurt to try, huh? Now, it didn't embarrass me. I brought it on myself. Oh. Oh. Must not be open, huh? Dang. Well, it happens. I guess I could give up on it. It might be open by the time I come back. What time is it, by the way? I left the house at, was it 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock? 8:30 or 9:30? One of them. Hey, what time is it? What time is it? Thank you, bro. 10:30. So I'll hit a right at the red light. Ah, that's a bad road though. It's a bad road. What's up, brother? Oh man, I got one more water. I forgot all about that water. I forgot all about that emergency water I had back there. I don't know why I even fell for it. I'm gonna enjoy that hot bottle of water. I was gonna try to see what was free at the Real Pie Man, but I guess the only thing that's free is turning around and going home. You know? Tell them, hey man, it's my birthday. The Saints go marching in. Who that? All right, all right. That's some of my lawyers right there. 504-444-4444. Oh man, it's tied to the runner, baby. Tied to the runner. Tied to the runner. Tied to the runner. I ain't seen a Saturn like that in a long time, man. Matter of fact, you don't really just see Saturns on the road. Like talking about Dirty Diana. Oh. Where am I going? Nothing but 16 ounces of water left. 3 bananas for fuel. Where are you going? Oh man, I'm gonna show you something, bro. See this truck right here? My uncle who died 3 years ago had that exact truck, but he had the chrome package. And yeah, he died in June. Like 3 years later, my dad dies in May. Had a butt watcher behind me. They're everywhere, man. These butt watchers are everywhere. What's up, baby? She wasn't a butt watcher, so I spoke to her. Man, I might hug one of these little trees, man, on the way back. It's a beautiful little string of them. This the one. This the one, Daniel, son. Oh no, that's poison ivy, baby. We ain't gonna hug him. This one have to do. I would show you me, but just enjoy the view. Tell you what, I'll show you this. All right, man, that was good. This by far has been my favorite tree to hug. This tree is perfect. It's perfect. It's the perfect girth. Let's do a hot lap around it. Watch the landmines. Do a hot lap around it. This thing has been perfect to hug. Perfect. It's the right size for my arm span. Beautiful tree. Beautiful tree. And I'm gonna tell you, I really enjoyed hugging that tree. A lot. Man, I'll never forget this one. That's been my favorite so far. Hands down. Hands down. I'll never forget that. That tree, I could have stayed there for an hour. Like if I'd have had a tripod set up, I could have hugged that tree for an hour. Cause it gave me it gave me a great feeling. Like when you hug some of them, you just feel strength. I felt compatibility with that live oak. Compatibility. Like it made me laugh. It made me laugh. You know, I chuckled. Even hugging it, I chuckled. And part of the reason I chuckled was because I know that car that passed me up, I know the car that passed me up, they were looking at me. Like, look at this weirdo, you know? It's 11 o'clock in the morning and this dude hugging a tree. Why is the manhole on that side? I needed that. That was very stressful too. All right. Let's just sip on this. That's all we got. That's all we got. That's all we got. I ain't gonna lie, that made me dizzy as heck. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a race via bicycle where in order to qualify to start the race, you gotta ride 20 miles first. Then you race. I'd like to see that. What's up, brother? Hey, bro, don't let him walk you, all right? You too, bro. Thank you. I normally ask dog walkers, like, who walking you? You know? I like when they picking them up. It's like, man, these dogs are living, you know? These dogs are living. Turn right up. Man, 5 of them? It's an opportunity to practice technique. I seen them yesterday, pedal valves. Every time I see a boat, I think of my dad, you know? These crepe myrtles are beautiful. Fuchsia, hot pink, they're beautiful. They're beautiful. It's a beautiful house. Everybody could live there, the whole family, you know? I always wanted a family house like that, where the whole family lived together. We all have our section, you know, our space. We could have a communal kitchen. I even have friends, you know, that I wouldn't mind if we lived together. Like communal, just our own little tribe, you know? Where in the heck is that canine at? Oh, shucks. Oh, he's on the porch. I'm happy for that. Because I ain't got my ghetto blaster with me. This is the little park where I hugged that tree at yesterday. This is the live oak. But the one I just hugged was, it just felt perfect. This is a beautiful tree though. Nice little dog park. I think it's a dog park. I saw the dog bags in there, McDonaldville. What's up, bruh? Don't leave that blow over there too long. I done looked at it 3 times. Morning, ladies. How y'all doing? No, man. I'm just saying, bruh. Hey, me too. Me too. Always. Never leave home without it. Never leave home without it. All right, now. He said he ain't gonna speak it out to me, so I didn't know what he was talking about when I turned back and looked. He was reaching inside his coverall. Hey, I got mine too, you know? Shit, you got one, I got more of them. You got a blinky, I got 4 of them, you know? Like, what's happening, you know? But the point I was trying to make to the dude was when I passed earlier, it just looked like the blower is out there for somebody to take. You don't hear no grass being cut. You don't hear none of that. So people sit stuff out all the time, and then you're in a nicer area where people do that kind of stuff. They'll throw away something that's valuable, you know, like lawn equipment. They'll throw it away. And so you're not thinking, let me go ask somebody, are they throwing this away? You're just thinking, man, it's sitting out there, you know, and you'll just take it. But he packing, and it's like, it's fine, but you're not gonna shoot me over something that you got on the ground. It's not like I went into your car and took it. I didn't know you were even cutting grass. I don't hear grass. I don't even see you. You know what I'm saying? But that's how people are wired. They don't even know the law. They're carrying and don't even know the law. You can't shoot somebody for stealing something that they're not stealing. You got it sitting out like it's trash, but you ready to defend it. Just leave it in the truck bed of your truck. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's why they got lawyers and that's why they got judges. And that's why if you're gonna carry, you need to know the law. The law. And if you're gonna carry, you really need to know whether or not you need to you don't need to defend yourself over a blower. This man don't deserve to die over a blower. Him taking it, they got the police, man. You know what I'm saying? You gonna shoot the man over taking a blower? A blower? Dang. What's up, brother? Like, this man's life is not worth you living with killing him over a blower. Is that a death sentence? A blower? It's sad to me. This man's life ain't, you know, I wouldn't kill a human being over a blower. What's up, brother? How many miles you did?
4.
Good, man. Great job, bro. You always inspire me when I see you. Keep it up, bro. Dude is a machine, bro. Machine. And I just want to humanize him and let him know, man, I respect him. I respect his grind. I respect his endurance. I respect his passion. I respect what he's doing. You know, and yeah, I'm still riding my bike. I saw him about an hour ago. I'm still riding my bike. My jersey is soaked. I'm talking about my leg has sweat running down it. You know what I'm saying? Soaked, drenched. Burned a few calories today. Hopefully I burned off that ice cream I ate last night. And just like that, you're thinking about Pops again, you know? Y'all sisters? Y'all sisters? Oh, y'all the Golden Twins, huh? I see you, I see you. All right. Hey, give them a break for me, all right? Give them a break for me. They're writing them tickets, boy. The runway is open, too. They are writing them tickets. Whoa. I don't like that dude. He's a vulture, man. Whoa, whoa, what's up, babe? I saw you at the last minute, man. I wasn't telling them whoa to stop. See if I can talk to this news dude. Nah, I'll let it ride. I'll let it ride. I'll let it ride. Ooh, woo. All right, Grandma. You got something for me? Enjoy it, boo. I'll have something for you next time, all right? That went wrong. I was supposed to say, I didn't get you nothing. You got me something? But I panicked. But at least she was nice about it. No. No. I guess my ride is over. So it must be a south wind because I feel a slight headwind. It's got to be a south wind today. I couldn't feel it earlier because I knew they had wind, but I couldn't really discern it. So I knew it had to be a crosswind, but now I feel it south. Nope, it's west, southwest. There you go. Because I feel it coming forward and side, but more forward than side. So it's got to be southwest according to that flag.